Catcalling is cringe in the bad way. It's embarrassing and desperate. Catcalling isn't desperate because men never expect to get a date out of catcalling. They just want to make women feel threatened. Whether they know it or not, that's the point of catcalling. Nobody who catcalls does so with the expectation that it's going to lead to some like breakthrough conversation, or they're going to like, you know, get together or whatever. It's a power play. Yeah, the point is harassment. It is intended as harassment. If you see a pretty lady in public, you know, you can actually approach her in a way that isn't harassment. It's actually like, depending on the circumstances, very doable and very easy. The catcalling thing is just a power move. Look, the purpose of a system is its outcome. The outcome of catcalling is never a date. It's always about a woman feeling demeaned. Thus, that is its purpose. It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. A lot of guys think catcalling is a compliment. I don't think they think that. I think they say that to defend themselves. I don't think they think that. Just don't think they think that. Like you like a group of guys or whatever, and one of them's like, hey, sweet ass or whatever. I do not think they honestly think their intention there is to make the woman feel good. They don't. Because they've seen how the women react every time, and it's never positive, you know? It's 100% a lie. It's cope. Cope. I really wouldn't care if someone did that to me. Yeah, but that's because, like, respectfully, you're being a little pathetic, right? I don't know if you're a guy or a girl. If it's a girl, it's pick me shit. But if you're a guy, like, you have to sympathize with, like, the context in which this shit happens, okay? Because you're thinking, like, what if I went outside and I did my best to look good, and then a guy was like, hey, you look good, sweetie, and you're like, hee, and then you walk by or something. But in reality, it would be more like you're 12 years old on your way back from school, and you really want to get home to play games with your friends, and a 43-year-old businessman looks down at you and says you have nice tits, and then like steps closer to you, and you can't back up because you're on a bus. And then when you finally get to your stop, you like flee out of the bus and cry, and don't tell your parents why you're crying because you're embarrassed because nothing technically happened to you. So you have to, like, you need to look. I'm not saying you're wrong for wanting people to say you look good. It's just, if that was what catcalling was, like it was just that, it wouldn't be the issue that it is, you know? It's like it's a whole thing. Why is it usually like 40 to 50 something dudes creeping on teenage girls? Part of it is a pedo thing, and part of it is because they're 40 to 50 like unattractive sexual failures who want to vent that frustration at women by demeaning like the weakest ones they can find, basically. It's a power thing. It's a power thing. Younger girls don't know how to respond to it. That's why if I ever have a daughter, every time she goes out, I'm going to have her strap on a propane tank, you know? We're going to get one of those like belt wrenches and just like put it around the waist, you know, just a big, like right here, like a big tank. And anytime somebody looks at or talks to her, I'll tell her to hit it with a hammer, you know? Mace? No, I think my way is more effective. No, an actual mace. Okay, now you're cooking. This bit is weird. Yeah, that's why it'll deter the catcallers. Fine, fine, I won't be sexist. If I have a son, he can also have it. Jesus, you people and your goddamn wokeness. Men don't hear compliments, I literally don't care. If you want to compliment women in public, by the way, it's really not that hard. Like, at all. Seriously. Like, if you're even remotely capable of thinking of women as people, you can usually intuit effective ways of complimenting people that don't make them feel weird. Like, it's not like literally just, I love what you did with your hair. That's like a 99% success rate right there. Unless like she's bald and has sunken cheeks, that might be a cancer survivor. Maybe play it a little, like even if she looks really good bald, you might want to play it a little bit careful with that one, because it might be a sensitive subject. But you know, great makeup, love your jacket. Just randomly, how do you randomly talk to people? You just do. But don't bother people if they're like doing something. But if you know what you're doing, you can bother somebody while they're doing something, and it's not even an issue. As long as the something that they're doing isn't an issue either. You know what I mean? Like if there's two women talking, like they're friends or whatever, and you're in, I don't know, Hollywood or something, and you're like, oh my God, I love your jacket. Just wanted to say bye. And then you walk past. Like, obviously don't be a fucking menace and do it to like 7 women in a row. Right? I'm just saying, like, it's not like, I know COVID broke everyone's brains. It is literally possible to interact with people in public. It's true that I am talking about like in America. I guess like in Europe, people tend to be less talkative, but you know, whatever. Very privileged take. Yeah, sure. Whatever. Whatever. Yeah, don't approach people from behind. Whatever. Depends on where in Europe. Yeah, probably. Very colonialist take. Okay, shut the fuck up. Oh, and by the way, The point of complimenting people in public, like random strangers, is to make them feel good, not to make yourself feel like a Rizlord or open up like a date or whatever. So if you want to be a fair and impartial and competent deliverer of kindness to others, you can't just do it to women. I mean that. If you, like, that's part of the skill too. Because if you're out there, you're only doing that to chicks you find hot or whatever, maybe they appreciate it, sure, but what are your intentions, and, like, are your intentions seeping through, you know? If you see a guy who's got his shit on, you gotta tell him. Well, you don't have to, but you know what I mean. Plus, if you give a compliment to a girl, there's a decent chance that she's adding it to the bucket of compliments she's gotten that day. If you compliment a guy, he'll be, like, telling his group chat about it for weeks. So, you know, I'm just saying. This advice does not apply to women. Otherwise, if you compliment men, they're going to try to follow you home. It's sad but true. It is sad but true. Genuinely, I think that a lot of girls start out their social life when they're in, like, elementary school or whatever, being pretty even-handed in how they talk to boys and girls. And then at some point, girls realize that if they compliment a guy, the guy won't stop staring at them from that point forward, and they learn to stop doing it, and it kind of feeds into the underlying problem. Yeah. It's really unfortunate.